My name's Pete. I'm a bereaved dad. I'm also the Sands United Sports and Mental Health Wellbeing Coordinator. My journey with Sands goes back just over 19 years now, when our first son Thomas was stillborn at 27 weeks into the pregnancy. My wife had been taken quite seriously ill part of the way through the pregnancy, but all the while our baby was growing okay. There were no problems that were detected on scans, and we were having quite a lot of scans. And this particular morning we went in for a scan expecting to be told everything was still okay. We gotten sort of used to that. We weren't nervous about the scan at all. Went in and the sonographer started the scan and started saying she was struggling to find the heartbeat, and I think initial thoughts are the baby's just being a bit awkward, it's turned round or to a funny position, and said she couldn't get a doctor to help her find the heartbeat. A few minutes later, a doctor came in, very quickly did a scan and just turned to us and said, "There is no heartbeat, your baby has died." Just the most crushing news, and trying to make sense, in those few seconds, trying to make sense of what's happened, what this means, what needs to happen next. But the grief is just overwhelming. Just remember being there, sat there with my wife, us both crying and holding each other. I get moved into another room to sort out what's going to happen next, and we arranged to go back to the hospital a couple of days later for my wife to be induced. So a few days later we turned back up at the hospital, my wife was induced, and later on that night gave birth to our baby. And we found at that time we had a son who we named Thomas. I tried to do the bloke thing after by being supportive of my wife, doing as much as I could, make arrangements, tell other people. This was in a time before social media, so I couldn't just put a post on Facebook. There were sort of phone calls and lots of very emotional conversations with people. And just thought I could outrun my grief, although as I was the dad and not the mum, that grief wasn't necessarily something that should affect me in this. Couldn't have been more wrong, really. 14 years after that, though, I found myself really in need of support and needing to talk to other people. And I finally, after months of trying to pluck up the courage to go to a support meeting, I walked into a support meeting at Bristol Sands, the support group local to me, and just for the first time spoke in front of other people who all had similar experiences, but I felt that I could use the proper language and talk in a way that I perhaps hadn't before. It just felt like such a weight had been lifted off me. And sort of since then, I've made very good friends with people at Bristol Sands and other Sands groups that have connected to over the years through social media, and the support I get from them and that we give each other is amazing. Made some of the best friends I never thought I'd make for this situation. In 2019, I founded the Sands United Bristol football team, and the Sands United teams are quite a unique way of any man affected by baby loss to get together and provide an avenue of support. And one thing I really do like about the teams is our football shirts. All the football shirts are pretty much unique. It'd be difficult to find two the same around the country. We carry our babies' names underneath our badge, so I have Thomas's name underneath the badge, and we all pick our own squad number. So I've picked 27 as we were 27 weeks into the pregnancy when Thomas was stillborn. And just being able to be with another group of guys, and it's not just necessarily about chatting to them and opening up about the loss. Everybody does it at one point or another, but sometimes it's just that being still on the touchline and just a nod to each other, or a pat on the back, or a wink of the eye to each other. Also, what's really great about the Sands United football teams is that it's an opportunity for me to do something with Thomas. I have his name on my shirt, so anytime I do anything for Sands United, I've got that shirt on, I'm doing it with Thomas. There's those things that we've lost with Thomas being stillborn, the opportunity to do things with him. So this is one thing I can do with him. I've worked for about 2.5 years now at Sands as the Sands United Mental Health Wellbeing Coordinator. Over that time, I've seen the support that is available to men grow. I think the support was always there. Sands is there to support anybody affected by the loss of a baby. But now we have, aside from the 40 football teams around the country, we also have a men's online support meeting each month. And there's the Sands support Facebook page for men. So there's loads of support there, and I still make connections now with people in that environment, with the Sands United environment. So please don't be afraid to reach out for support. It's there for you, and baby loss can be quite an isolating experience, but please don't feel any more isolated, as there is support for men out there.